Ex-military, what completely normal military behavior horrified your civilian friends? I was at a barbecue with my college buddies when someone dropped a hot dog on the ground. Without thinking, I picked it up, brushed it off, and ate it. Everyone stopped talking and stared at me like I'd just eaten roadkill. Dude, that was on the ground for like 10 seconds, my friend Mike said in horror. I shrugged and said, 5-second rule, plus I've eaten worse. They had no idea how much worse I'd actually eaten during field exercises and MRE disasters. The real shock came when I started telling them about military dining experiences. I casually mentioned eating MREs that were older than some of my fellow soldiers, and how we'd trade meals based on expiration dates like they were baseball cards. When I described finding a hair in my chili mac and just eating around it, my friend's girlfriend actually gagged. You didn't throw it away? She asked. I explained that when you're hungry enough and food is scarce, you learn not to be picky about minor inconveniences like mystery hairs. Things got even weirder when I told them about field cooking. I described how we'd heat MREs by shoving them in our pants against our body heat, or how we'd use truck exhaust pipes as makeshift ovens. My buddy Tom looked genuinely concerned when I explained that we once cooked bacon on a tank engine because it was the only heat source available. That doesn't sound sanitary, he said. I laughed and told him sanitary was a luxury we couldn't afford when you're living in the dirt for weeks. The conversation reached peak horror when I mentioned our creative protein sources during survival training. I casually told them about catching and eating bugs, how grasshoppers actually taste pretty good when you're starving, and that ants have a nice crunchy texture. My friend's girlfriend ran to the bathroom to throw up, and the guys were looking at me like I was a completely different species. You voluntarily ate insects? Mike asked in disbelief. The barbecue got really quiet after that. I realized I'd completely killed the mood by talking about military survival tactics like they were normal dinner conversation. Later, Mike pulled me aside and said, "Man, we had no idea what you guys went through over there. We're complaining about slightly burnt burgers while you were eating bugs and floor food." I just smiled and said, "Hey, at least your hot dogs are actually hot dogs." Half the time we weren't sure what we were eating, but we ate it anyway. The next weekend, they all insisted on buying me dinner at the fanciest restaurant in town. Civilian life suddenly seemed very luxurious.